So, thanks, sis. I love you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Chanda and I. I know that you all understand how God works, so I don't have to explain that to you, but there are times in your life when something happens and you just know that it's God.
Yeah.
It's part of the plan. You can see that it's steps that took you to that place. As you all many of you all know, I'm area chair for the NAACP, Area 12. And Chanda and about 100 people were working to form a Augusta County branch. And they worked hard. They had 100 applications with 100 membership fees in hand, packed together. And she came to me as area chair to find out, first of all, if it was possible. And then after I contacted the president of the Virginia State Conference, he said it was possible. And we started the steps of trying to get the branch chartered. And she and I began talking and working and talking every day. And now this is the thing about this branch that should be. These people were working before charter. Now they were not announcing themselves as the NAACP, but they were working in preparation. They expected it to happen. So I think maybe 2 months, maybe 3 of working like this, I found out after submitting the application, and we were just waiting for certification of the branch, and I was contacted and told that it was not going to happen. So I was thinking, first of all, I felt like something had punched me in my gut. And then I was thinking, how am I going to tell Chanda? So I could not sleep. All night long, I felt like I was just staring at the ceiling, and I must have drifted. But when my eyes opened up, the word rise came to me, just like that. And I realize now that there are a lot of other rise organizations out here, but that was not in my mind when my eyes opened up and the word rise was in my head. And so one thing my mom had always told me that, everyone can point out the problem. It's easy to point out the problem. But when you see the problem and you want something to happen, you have to try to come up with a solution when you bring the problem. So I was real nervous about calling Chanda and telling her, and the people, because 100 people were expected to be chartered. So if you know Chanda Elaine, you know it's not easy for her to get disappointed or to tell her some bad news. So when I told her that I had gotten the news that the branch was not going to be chartered, and then I suggested to her that we start RISE. Well, initially she wasn't really trying to hear none of that. She was just really trying to figure out what the problem was and all that kind of stuff. And so less than 24 hours, she called me up and she said, let's do it. And the thing about it is, you have to understand, we've only known each other at that point for not quite 3 months. But we've been talking the whole time and talking about the journey of our life. So the organization, RISE, is new, but the work and the spirit of the place that we work from is not new. That sister right there can tell you that since a teenager, this has been me. Yeah. And Chanda and I, we talked a lot about, I want to do this, and I want to do this. When we were trying to figure out who we wanted to do the welcome, and I said, Minister Connie Crawford, she said, stop. That's who I was going to say. I mean, that's how it happens all the time, that I would say something or she'd say something. But to get back to the point, when she said that, we just started walking.
Amen. See,
the thing about it is most people, if you have a business and you plan a business, you're supposed to plan a whole year in advance and, kind of get that. We didn't have time for that. The problems that we needed to address were immediate problems. And we trusted God, and we still trust God, to direct, guide, protect, keep us. Now, we have to be honest, we are 2 strong women with strong opinions, and it's not always pretty. But the ultimate goal, no matter what, no matter how it turns, no matter how rocky it can get in between time, that's not something that you all will ever know about. That's right. But when we come to the end, when we come to the moment, as you see right now, no matter what we go through, the goal is always, we have one goal, one agenda, and that's why we meet it. So that's me and Chan and I. That's just God's plan. And so even when we get frustrated, we understand that we may not understand God's plan, but we understand that God has a plan, and that plan is working. And so we work in that plan. But then we get to Rise, and we started now. I know a lot of people wonder about, the NAACP and then Rise. Well, when I was growing up, I know that I had family members that was NAACP members, and the Elks, and they were different members, but they've been in Masons, and the work has to be done. And the way that I see it is that we all work, and we all working at the same problem from different angles. And I am a strong advocate for the NAACP. I respect it with everything in me. I think it is an awesome, powerful organization. However, within that organization, there are sometimes limitations on time. And when there's a problem that we have, that we can't always do it because we have to respect the organization's process. But sometimes process gets in the way of progress.
That's right. That's right.
And so, with all due respect, we formed Rise to be able to address those things that we needed to get to right now. Most important is our children.
Yes.
And I have to tell people, I can only speak from a perspective of a black woman. It's not a race thing. It's just that I can only, my community, my family, my father was a black man. I had 3 brothers. I come from that community, so I know that community and I know their needs. I also know their strengths. I know their gifts. I know the power that's in them. And I know that we are extremely underestimated. And that bothers me. And then when our children are in these school systems, and I know that we need the school systems, we do. But we also need a school system that is catering to the needs of our children as well. And so the thing that Chan and I have really, we understand is that right now, currently, the schools are not addressing our children's needs. It's not. Because you can look at the statistics and they're failing. I mean, people argue with us, they get upset with us because we're addressing these things, but how can you get upset when the numbers show us that our children are failing? And so, that's Rise. I mean, there's so much more I could tell you about Rise, but the ultimate goal is to improve the quality of life for our people, all people. I mean, because if we improve the life of our people, then life will be better for everyone. And so I hope that, as we're building and working hard, that you all will do your best to support us in any way that you can. I mean, we're small, but we're mighty. Amen. And we really appreciate you all. Thank you all for coming. This is so beautiful. And I know that this room is filled with power. And I just want us to operate from that power. And we can partner up. It doesn't, you don't have to belong to an organization, but you belong to the community. We're family, as far as I'm concerned. So, thank you. So until Chanda comes back up. How was the food? Delicious. Awesome. Are you? Uh-oh. Oh, no you didn't. Good closet. Do you need it? No. Can I borrow this one? All right, so I have Miss Raven Johnson that I want to crown.
Amen.
I've known this young lady probably since she was 15. And she's been a sweet spirit.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes,
I admire this young lady.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the great things that she's going to do in this world. And I'm proud to know you. Yeah. Right. really haven't had a lot of interaction over the years, but I've seen you. And I'm proud of you. I love the way that you carry yourself. And I know that there's power in you and you're doing great things. So I just wanted to recognize you.
Amen.
Is this Iris Carter here? I didn't see her. Well, another powerful queen. I met her when we started, I didn't speak about that, but maybe we'll talk about the RISE summer camp. We do a Kings and Queens reading and writing camp. And the point is that, you know, there's a lot of focus on all kinds of things, but what I believe is that if you help them to build a sense of thought that they can express through their fingers, then that empowers them. I think a lot of times right now in school, the kids are just given the paper, you have to memorize, you don't really have to think about it, you don't really have to have a thought about it. I know when I was in school, you had to write an essay answer. There was no fill in the bubble. And you had to be able to spell the word. So, and we've had some great success last year. This is going to be our second year doing the camp. So, Iris donated dictionaries. Funny story. When I brought the dictionaries in, and they're thick like this, and put them down, and there was a bunch of them, boxes. They were like, what is that? Dictionaries, you know, and so I made sure that they went through, and it's so funny because they don't use dictionaries anymore, you know. And I understand that the phone is easy, but like I told them, you're making the phone think for you. And so you're giving up your power. And so anyway, so she donated books to us, and she donated time, and I just love her. I think she's a wonderful woman. And I'll get her a